Today we've got the INQ Cloud Touch reviewing. You may have seen our previous unboxing video, and here we've got the full review coming up. So let's take a look at the phone now. On the front we have a 3.5-inch HVGA screen, and although this isn't as high as, say, a WVGA screen on the Milestone 2 or the new QHD screens on the Desire S, it is higher than that of the Wildfire, which it's competing against, which is QVGA. So it's quite an alright frame resolution. Sorry. At the top we have a speaker bar, and we have noticed with this it's very quiet. So if you're next to like a main road when you're talking to someone, you probably won't be able to hear them. So that's quite a disappointment. And also with the microphone, we found out that there's a lot of wind. If you're in a windy place, it kind of picks that up quite a bit, so the person on the other end can't really hear you very well. But going on, there's 3 buttons at the bottom. There's a menu key, home key and a back key. Standard Android buttons there. On the right hand side we have a volume rocker for changing the volume up and down, and this music player key, which if you tap and hold, it will open the Spotify music player, and if you just click it once, it will pause and play your song. On the top we have a micro USB port for syncing and charging. Also on the top we have the 3.5mm headphone jack and the lock and unlock key. On the bottom we have the pull to open the battery cover. On the left we have this information key, which is really useful actually. You click it and it opens all like different information about your phone, like how long it will last, on your battery life that you've got left. You can quickly turn off Wi-Fi, you can quickly switch to airplane mode, Bluetooth on and off. It's really useful. We'd like to see that on more phones, to be honest. On the back we've got a speaker. This speaker is very, very good. It's full of bass and very loud. There's literally no distortion on it whatsoever. It's one of the best mobile speakers we've had. And here we have a 5-megapixel camera with autofocus. However, there is no flash, which is a bit of a disappointment. Although for daytime shots it's perfectly adequate, and nothing else apart from the INQ logo. So just a couple other tech specs. The CPU is 800 MHz, so it's middle of the road really. It's not going to be anywhere as quick as the new dual-core phones, such as the Galaxy S2, and not quite as quick as the 1 GHz phones, such as the Desire HD or the Milestone 2. However, it's not going to be too laggy in most things. You might experience a bit of lag in some big web pages, but that's not too much to worry about. So let's unlock the phone now. You've got this really nice lock screen here. You can drag the lock icon up there to unlock it. I'll just show you the other things you can do. It's a bit HTC Sense 3-esque, which is quite nice. Sorry. You can drag up here and it will take you straight to the camera, or the gallery, which is where I was. And the other thing you can do is this INQ search kind of application, where you can search for things on the internet or your phone, which is fairly useful. You can also get to that by swiping up. That's not working at the moment. Okay, well, it's not working at the moment. Oh well. So we've got a kind of standard Android home screen here. At the moment I've got 3 home screens, but I think you can have up to 9. I'll just check that. You can have up to 7, sorry, which is still a good amount of home screens. I only really use 3. And at the bottom we have these widgets here that INQ have included. Just zoom in here. And so this one, as we've already mentioned, it's very Facebook integrated. This one opens your agenda, your calendar, and it syncs with Facebook automatically. So I can see people's birthdays, events, and it also syncs with your Google Calendar, so that's very nice. These are just really shortcuts to parts of the Facebook application, such as the notifications. The Places just takes you to the Places app on Facebook, so it's not much of a use there, but the People app here is really quite cool. It automatically finds the 4 people that you visit most, or who visit you the most, and puts them into this People app, and it's so you can keep track of the people you talk to most. So there's just a few people really that I talk to most, and you can tap on a post by them and it'll take you straight to it in Facebook, which is really nice. And when someone in your People's app has changed something, it will come up with their profile picture here with a little red dot next to it, which is really nice. So just finishing off the home screen, we've also got a scrollable dock here, and just the usual applications grid, which brings up, it's not quite as smooth as a 1 GHz phone, but you know, it's quite smooth, and also switching between home screens is quite smooth. They've also included another widget here, which is just your Facebook newsfeed, which is quite useful. You can just go through people's statuses, which is nice. However, there is one thing that we really don't like with the home screen customizations INQ have made, and that's the icons at the bottom. They're really kind of like childlike, and although this phone is primarily marketed at a younger audience, it still looks incredibly tacky. Like, the camera icon is definitely the worst. It just really looks really tacky. The browser icon is also quite bad. The others are alright, but we just prefer standard Android icons. It would just be so much better. But other than that, it's a very good home customization by INQ. So I'll just show you a couple features that are specific to this phone. The information key here, when pressed, immediately brings up this screen over whatever app you're in, so you can quickly see the time and date, and you can tap onto that and change your settings for that. You can set alarms, turn on and off Wi-Fi, see how much battery is left. There you go. I've got a text here, so I can just swipe down like a normal Android. You can also see what memory you've got left, and down here you can switch off functions of the phone. Like, I can turn it on silent. I don't really want it on silent though. I can turn on Bluetooth and GPS, airplane mode. It's really handy, and like we said, we'd like to see that on more phones as it's so handy. Also, the Spotify key is not something you see on any other phones at the moment. If you tap and hold it, it opens the Spotify player and automatically logs you in. And then it's just like a lot of stock, a lot of other players when it comes to the actual functionality. All this music came on the phone, so I don't really know it, but let's turn it up. As you can tell, hopefully you can tell the speaker is really loud. I just hold it up to the camera. It's really clear and very bassy, which is nice, with not a lot of distortion. And say I'm on a different app, the Spotify key can also be used for pausing my music, like that. And it also works if the phone is locked, which is nice. So you don't need to get your phone out of your pocket to play songs. So that's a nice feature as well. We're just quickly going to note the build quality on this phone. As we've already noted, it's quite a low-end handset made for the youth. And although a lot of people aren't going to be too worried with the build quality on this phone, it is what we call substandard. It's not very good. It won't compete to the likes of an iPhone 4 or many other phones really. It creaks quite a bit. Don't know if you can hear this. When it's held in the hand, it does creak quite a bit. And it doesn't always, the case on the back doesn't always fit completely flush with the body of the phone, which is a bit of a disappointment. and everything just seems a little bit plasticky, to be honest. Like if I open the battery case, the battery cover, sorry, it's very plasticky, to be honest. And although this won't worry a lot of people, it's just a bit of a disappointment, really. So let's quickly take a look at the camera app. If we unlock the phone and just zoom in a little bit, we can launch the camera app with the icon there. It's pretty much the standard affair for Android camera apps. You've got your settings here for exposure, picture size and picture quality, your location here, your white balance and your zoom here. It's digital zoom up to 4 times, so it doesn't actually lose too much quality over 4 times zooming, which is quite nice. You've got a little switch here to switch to video. It's not HD, it's 480p, although we wouldn't expect HD recording from a phone of this spec, so that's nothing too much to worry about. And if we just zoom out here, and I'm going to take a picture of my tank over here. You can either use the Spotify key or the software key on the actual phone, so I'm just going to use the software key. And it takes a couple seconds to focus. It's not the quickest, although it's nothing too much to worry about. And picture quality, in really light conditions, it's not too bad. However, in dark conditions, there's no flash, so it's quite useless, really. So now we're just going to compare it to some other phones. Here, we're just going to unlock it. We're going to compare it first to the Milestone 2. It's a slightly higher end phone. It has a 1 GHz processor instead of the 800 MHz processor seen in the INQ. So now we're going to quickly look at the browser speed. The Milestone 2 opened the actual browser quickest there. We're going to go on to the bbc.co.uk, as we use this in most of our reviews, and it's a very intensive website, so we'll just type this in. Okay, and we'll click go at the same time. 3, 2, 1. Both on the same network now. And there we go. So the Motorola clearly won there, although it's still loading. It has rendered it quicker. We'll keep this test going for a second. It's already very smooth on. There we go, it's done now. So although the Milestone 2 rendered the page quickest, the INQ loaded it at almost the same time. And if we go to the desktop version of this site, oh, 3, 2, 1. Sorry. So the INQ has a bit of a head start, but we won't mind. So they're both rendering it at about the same time. And it seems that the Milestone has won that. So although the Milestone is quite clearly quicker, the INQ isn't too far behind, and considering this phone is like almost 3 times the price, it's really not a bad contender, to be honest. So we're just going to give the INQ a conclusion now. So what do we like? We really like the Facebook integration. We can just tap on our calendar and it will automatically sync with our Facebook, so we know when people's birthdays are. I'm usually the one forgetting people's birthdays. We really like the People's application, because it automatically finds the people you talk to most. We also like, it's really snappy. Yeah, very, very snappy. But what we don't like is, 1, the build quality. It's really quite terrible. 2, the really, really terrible icons. There's more examples of it in the app drawer. The calculator one, for example, which we think is just terrible. I mean, you may like it, I mean, some of them, it's all down to opinion really, but we hate them, to be honest. And we also don't like the fact it hasn't got a flash. The last thing we really do like is the speaker though, it's like really amazing. But we'll leave it there. We're going to give this phone an 8 out of 10, and the price is very good as well. You can get it on free for £120, pay as you go, which is very, very nice, sorry. So we'll leave it there, 8 out of 10. Thanks for watching.